Right. Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Good evening,
All
sir.
right. Good
Good evening. We
evening.
can hear you.
Yeah, so
Good
sorry
evening,
to
sir.
delay us for about 40 minutes. Okay. There was a little glitch in communication um, between the host and myself. So I'm very sorry. So we are going to start now. Uh, Mr. Sylvester, is it Mr. or Miss? Please, can you? All right, thank you. I've seen it. Don't worry. All right, so last week, please, can we all mute our mics, please? All right, for now. So last week, we started the graphic designing class, and we talked at length. We discussed what graphic designing is all about. We discussed the elements of designs. We discussed types of logo, and I introduced us to all the logos that we have. At the same time, I shared with us the materials. I don't know if any one of us has gone through the materials and peradventure you have something that is not clear before I proceed here. Anyone? Or maybe last class, there's something that you want to ask that you didn't ask, or something that is not clear. This is the time to do that before we move forward. Anybody? All right. The silence means that there is no question at all. Perfect. So we talked about types of logo, and today I want us to do little practical. But before we do that, let's finish what we started last week. That is the theory aspect of it. So let's finish it. Then we move to the practical. Please let me know when you are seeing my screen. I want to share my screen now. All right. Can you all see my screen?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet.
Yes.
How about now?
We can see it
Yes,
now.
sir. Yes, we
All
can
right.
see you.
Perfect.
I can see your screen.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So, can we please admit our minds back so that we can enjoy today's session? It's going to be a long session, but for us to enjoy it, please, once it is 8 o'clock, please let me know so that we can take a little break before we proceed. So we talked about typography, and okay, before we even proceed, let's even ask ourselves questions. I asked you guys to ask me questions and nobody asked questions. So let me ask some questions about what we talked about last week. So who can tell me the types of logo that we have? At least 3 types of logo that we have. 3 out of the types. Anybody? Please now. Should I call our name? Okay. I don't know. I'm going to address us by the name Hassan Rafiat. Can you please tell us 3 types of logo that we have? Hassan Rafiat.
Yes, good evening, sir.
All right, good evening.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to, but I remember one of the type of logo is a monogram logo.
All right, what type of logo is monogram logo? Can you give an example of monogram logo?
The ones we use for printing envelopes.
Can you give a particular example? Can you give a particular example?
Logo used for
Anybody that wants to help out, Oluwabukumi Isaac. Oluwabukumi Isaac, can you help out? Because I really want to dwell on this logo because it is easy to design, and it is kind of design or type of design that we'll see on a daily basis. Like even possibly before you design one flyer or the other, you can easily design a logo for yourself, for your families and friends, for businesses. And it's something that is easy. We just need to understand all the types of logo. So that's why I'm asking if we really understand it before we move further. So what type of logo is Canon camera or Fidex? Let me use Fidex. What type of logo is Fidex? Anybody? Let's make this interactive now. You're not saying anything. Can you people hear me at all? Hello? Jesus.
Yes, you can hear.
Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you.
So what happened? Okay, someone is saying emblem logo. All right, thank you. Since we decided not to talk, I think we can just proceed. I just want to make sure that
I remember the logos, but I don't know. I remember letter mark logo.
All right, thank you.
Logo.
Thank you. There's letter mark. There's letter mark is as well known as monogram.
Okay.
So
abstract logo.
We have abstract logo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for contributing. Okay, thank you, Abosede. All right. All right, let's proceed. Today we want to talk about the fonts that we've been talking about, the contracts, the consistency, the alignment, and all of that. So I really want to read from what I have here, that we often reflect on the power of the written word, but rarely do we consider the designer's role in emulating the tone of the word or sentence. Behind the scenes, a designer has taken the time to consider the relationship between the look of the text and what the text says. And in reality, different modes and atmosphere and even trend can be expressed simply through the type choice. But what is typography and why is it so vital? So what all those Zamajati is talking about is in our day-to-day life, it is very, very important to consider all these things, especially typography, when we want to design. Because the designer has taken time to consider the relationship between the text and what the text is saying. It's not just about retyping, it's not just about redesigning. Our text now should reflect what the design is talking about, should say something about the design. That is why you see people when they are working on a design that has to do with kids, they use fonts, or let me say typeface, that is kind of cursive, that is kind of playful, so that the children or everybody can easily relate it to the kids. And when we are talking about, or when we are designing something that is kind of official, we can't use that kind of font. We have to use the fonts that relate well with the corporate entity. So it's two different things. It's two different things. And as a designer, we need to understand where each font comes in. It's not all fonts that we use. So typography is the art of arranging letters and text in a way that makes the copy legible, clear, and appealing to the reader. So if you are designing something, your text, your typography, I mean your fonts now, for those of us that are just joining for the first time, typography is font, but the name typography is the name of the font. Is that font's name? Go. But you know, we have Times New Roman. I want to use that one because that is what everybody is familiar with. We have Times New Roman. That is the typography. The name Times New Roman is the word, I mean, is the name typography. But we have Times New Roman, italic, we have bold, we have small, we have italic, and all of those. Those are the fonts. Those are the family. So typography is the father and the mother. Fonts now are the children. Do we get it? You can just react in the chat if really, thank you, if you are getting it, so that I will know that everybody is following. So I said earlier that we have serif, we have sans serif, and we have, okay, someone is saying no, sir. Okay, I'm going to explain now. If you look at the screen now, the typeface, which is also the typography, is this Helvetica. That is the name of the font. That is the name of the typeface, rather. Then the fonts are members of the typeface. That's why we have Helvetica regular, Helvetica oblique, Helvetica light, light oblique, bold, bold oblique. All those ones are members of the typeface. And Helvetica is the entire font, the entire body. Most of the time, if you want to download fonts online, you will see where you can download the entire family and where you can download just single. Maybe you just need regular or just need the bold. Do you get it now? The same thing with all other fonts. So now there are three basic type of typeface. We have serif. Thank you, Abosede. We have serif, we have sans serif, and we have decorative. So serif are the fonts that has all these bars, like Times New Roman. If you look at it, it has a kind of bar. If you look at this very well, you see you see this blue line, we call it a bar. So any font that has this bar are called serif. And the one that is just straightforward like this are called sans serif. So Helvetica here now is sans serif. And if you look at the type of fonts that is used for this test, it has all these bars. They are what? They are serif. So an example of serif font is Times New Roman. That's the only thing I can remember at the moment. An example of sans serif fonts are area fonts. Then we have area. I think that's the first font. If you open your system now, you see it. So is that one clear? And the next one is decorative. Decorative is either cursive fonts, either signature. That is not straightforward. That is kind of if you look at it, you see that it's kind of should I call it? Well, we can use decorative. No, it's not straightforward as serif and as sans serif. Do we get it? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you now. So when we're talking about contrast in design, let me just use this as an example now. Which one is easy to read among these three? Which one is easy to read? C. All right. Contrast inside the third one. All right. If you look at the second one is not really that easy to read. So Much like hierarchy, contrast help in convey which idea or message you want to emphasize. Come here, let me try to. You want to emphasize on. So spending so much time on contrast make your text interesting, meaningful, and attention grabbing. So I think I have something here that I want to share with us. Excuse me, concerning that contrast. So it's giving us, I can't find it. That is to tell us that the designer, or not even the designer only now, the designer, or you want to call the attention of the reader to that particular text. So parental, you are designing and you have all your fonts, you have maybe you use red, blue, which other color? You use black. But in a word that is together, let's say contrast in type now. You want people to pay attention to that contrast. Maybe it's a payment or something. You can give that one, a picture on its own by giving it a different contrast, by giving it a different color. I mean color now when I'm talking about contrast, by giving it a different color. I'm trying to look here if I have anyone that can show us, but I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything that can. But while we are on it, I will keep looking and give us. But most of the time, we will see it every day. We see it everywhere. A moment. I'm trying to look at it so that we don't just keep talking. We just keep talking. I'm going to spray it up. All right, perfect. I've seen one. And I want to copy it now so that we can see what contrast is all about. So just like you giving a text, you're giving it a kind of attraction so that anybody seeing it can pay attention to it and read it very well. Let me know when you can see my next screen. I want to change the screen. Can you see the screen now? Can you see the graphics I'm displaying now?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you look at this, thank you. If you look at these graphics very well, what's wrong with this thing? I'm giving me. Look at these graphics very well. This design, I just copied this online. This designer is saying we are universally trusted. We trade all kind of cryptocurrency. So this designer is giving this trusted a kind of attention so that people can see it clearly. And if you look at it very well, we are is kind of not really bold. Universally is black and not bold, but that trusted is bold and it has its own color, different from what we have. We have black, black, black. If you look at the text, most of the text are black. But this designer is giving this trusted a kind of attention so that people can see it and know that, okay, this is like call to action. Or this is, you can call it call to action or something that people can see and say that, okay, I can trust this brand. I can easily see it compared to the word trade with us or universally. But this trusted is kind of different. So the designer is differentiating it out of other designs. So when you are designing flyers, most of the time it's flyer. You can't do it for logo, and we can't do it for, okay, you can do it for book cover designs. You can do it for logo, for flyer. You can do it for when you are designing, what's it called, brochures and the likes. But for logo, you can't really do it for logo. So back to what we are talking about. So it's very, very important that we pay attention to every detail, every little details in designing. And these are the ways we can make our design to stand out. Not just we working with the brand color. We have to make sure that our designs are standing out. Another one is consistency. Consistency is you keeping your typeface consistent. So when conveying information, it's essential to stick to the same font style so your reader instantly understand what they are reading and begin to notice a pattern. Most of the time, we used to tell people, if you are designing a flyer or whatever things you are designing, the less fonts is better. You should not use more than 3 fonts. In fact, that 3 fonts is too much. You should not use more than 2 fonts. If you want to use the third font should not cover the whole design. You can just use it for maybe contact us, where you can use cursive font or where you can use decorative font, but the main font should not be more than 2. And I want to share with us this design again to tell us that whatever design you are doing, where is it? The moment we start having more than 2 fonts, our design becomes congested. Our design becomes congested. Are we seeing this screen I'm showing now? That design. So if you look at this design very well, all the fonts here is just 2. And that is the one here, this online business webinar, and the fonts for the God factor advantage in business. All other fonts are the same thing. And nobody will really know. So imagine me having another font for this, another font for this, another font for everything. It becomes congested and people will really pay attention to it, and it will be giving them different meaning. But if you use a straightforward font and it's just 2, that is why we have the families. In fact, most of the time, if you look at this, where is it? This one I'm sharing with you. If you look at this very well, it is just a single font, I guess. I'm not the one that designed this, but I'm trying to see. Okay, it is just 2 fonts all through. And the second font is just this trusted. All other fonts are the same thing. I think this font that is used is we are universally, all these contact us, WhatsApp. I think the font name is Gotan. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Gotan. Then this one is different, but nobody will know. But because of the family, that's why we have the families. So you can use bold here, you can use the normal one, you can use this light one, just like the trade with us here is the light one. The contact us is kind of lighter than trade with us. That is how we use fonts. It's not that we just have thousands of fonts and you keep using everything. If you ask 10 graphic designers, believe you me, most of them use Monstera, Gotan, Fortura, and maybe all other fonts. But the major fonts every designer use. I mean, people that are using CorelDRAW, that are using Photoshop now. People that can install what's it called? That can install fonts now. So if you look at it, or if you ask them, they will tell you most of them use Monstera, Gotan, Fortura. That is the widely used fonts because it is easy to read compared to we using all other fonts. I'm trying to do something now. Okay, this is what I'm saying. This is area. Area is the typeface. Area is the typeface. Can we all see my screen very well? You are seeing what is displaying. all this area, the sub purple that is showing.
Yes, you can see.
All right. Yes, sir, we can see.
Thank you. This area now is the typeface. So you have area narrow, regular, area narrow italic, area normal, area italic, area narrow bold, italic, area bold, italic, area black. You see all these things. You can use everything in single design. You're still maintaining a single font. This type of fonts now, and this type is sans serif. This type is what is sans serif. Please give me a moment. Okay, so this Cambridge now. This is serif because it has all the bars. Another example is this. Where is it? This one has another example of serif fonts. So let me give us an example of decorative. You definitely see it. All these fonts like this is decorative. Fonts like this is decorative. I think this is Coca-Cola fonts. Yeah, this is Coca-Cola fonts. Something like this is the normal serif. So in a design, you can decide to use just a single font and decide to use their family depending on what you want to do. But you should not use more than 2 fonts in your design. Please, is that clear? You should not use, in fact, try not to use more than 2 designs. It's very, very important. Try not to use more than 2 designs. When you start designing and you are kind of restricted to that, you know that it is very, very okay to use just 2 designs, I mean two fonts. Now, if you look at this one too, this is another one. This is just 2 designs. This one and the other one for webinar. So most of the time, if you want to use fonts like this, it's best you use it for the main subject. The main subject. So because of our time, let's quickly move. Let's quickly move. So the next thing we want to talk about is white space. White space often referred to as negative space. It's very, very important. Okay, before I even show you, look at this thing now that I'm showing you. Which one is easy to read?
The second one.
The example I'm showing now. The second one. You see, all this white space is very, very important when you are designing. Although this is for a longer text, but in designing, you should be mindful of white space. Let your design, let it breathe. Even if you have thousands of information, even if you have thousands of information, you should always find ways around it. Like this one now, I have a lot of information, but I have a way to give it space. This is the webinar. The webinar is not It's not choking. Please, can we mute our mic,
yes,
please?
she's gonna do that one.
Hello. Hello. Thank you. So if you look at this design now, the online webinar and the main thing, which is the God factor advantage, is business. There is space. And the next one is what you learn. There is space between what you learn, what the webinar is all about, and that online webinar. There is space. What you learn, there is still space in between the bullet points. Then after that, we have the fee, we have where you scan to register. And let me take us back to this. It's still the same thing. So giving your design, giving you space to breathe is very, very important so that it won't look choked and people will see it and I want to show us. People will see it and know that, okay, this is what this person is actually trying to convey. If you look at this one now that I'm showing you, it's still the same thing. And you can use different ideas to arrange your text. And most of the time, just like I told us in last class, there is nothing you want to design, be it flyer or anything, that is not online. You go online to get inspiration. Like this particular designer, I was trying to give an explanation to someone today. I went online, I picked this. Me picking it, I fell in love with the arrangement. That is why I was doing all these things. I fell in love with it and I feel like, okay, I can use this arrangement, just the arrangement, and I'm okay with the arrangement. So in case I want to design something like this, something like webinar again, like all this webinar now, I won't be cracking my brain on, okay, how do I arrange it? Because that is the headache of designers. Are you getting it? So this is one arrangement, this is another arrangement, this is another arrangement. And if you check my phone, or let me say, if you check designer's phone, what you see there are screenshots from online, download from online of possible designs that they fell in love with. I can tell you that 98% of pictures on my phone are just screenshots of designs that I see online and I fell in love with. So another headache of designer is a font. You can design, especially when it comes to logo, or even this. You can design everything now and start looking for font. These two designs came in at the same time, and it's not possible for me to use the same font for the two, the same arrangement, the same background. It's not possible. So as a designer, you have to start thinking. So you can spend 30 minutes looking for font. Most of the time, you have to go online to go and download as well. So that point is where gives graphic designer a headache. It's not even about the design. But when it comes to fonts, it gives people headache because you have to be maximum. You don't use everything that you have. I have thousands of, in fact, I have over 1,000 fonts here. And I can tell you that there are some that I've not even used. There are some I've not even used at all. So it's very, very important that we take note of our white space when designing. We don't just choke everything together. And the next one is alignment. The next one is alignment. If you look at this design now, it is well aligned. Now let me start with this. Alignment in the sense that, okay, this is my ruler. I hope you are seeing this blue line. So this is it. If you place it here, you see that everything from A to Z, from the beginning to the last one here, is aligned. And if you check the other part too, it is aligned. Everything must be aligned. Not that one text is starting at the left-hand side, one is starting at the right-hand side. And if you want to make all your text to be left-handed, like left aligned, make it left aligned. If you want it to be right aligned, make it right aligned. Just like the one I shared with us last class. Do you still remember the design? Let me go and search for it. I think I need to have deleted it. There's a particular design that I was sharing with us last class. I'm not seeing it again. So whatever design we want to do, if it is left aligned, make it left aligned. Left aligned is says that the picture will be at the right hand side, then your text will be at the left hand side. The same thing applicable to this design here. Then this design here, if you look at it, it is well aligned. This is where the text is and this text. So it is very, very important. If you ever seen any picture, any picture of a design online that is not well aligned, it will stress you from reading. And alignment just gives accuracy. It makes your work to be easy to read. And it gives reader a kind of direction, like, okay, this is the first thing, okay, followed by this, followed by this, followed by this. And the next one I want to talk about is color. I think I've once talked about it, that there is rule of color. And the rule of color is you don't use red on red. Sorry, you don't use dark color on dark color, and you don't use light color on light color. A typical example is this design. My background is white, so it's not possible for me to use orange on this design. Let's try it. Online business webinar. Holy Spirit, help me. Where is it now? Okay, I want to give it color. I'm coming. Trying to shrink it. So this is yellow now. How is it? Let's talk.
Very dull.
Can you even read it?
Not possible.
I can't see it.
Possible. That is the basic view. It's not visible. Now, compared to this, or compare it to red, compare it to this again, compare it to blue. So the idea is for every of your background or anything that you want to use, you should not use dark color on dark color or light color on light color. Reverse is the case. Reverse is what is the case. And someone will ask me, how do you come up with background for our designs? When we get to client design, we get it. I will tell us, but let me just kind of give us a rough explanation now. Going with this is just a plain background. I downloaded this background from Pinterest. And if you look at it, you see like a kind of dollar here. This is $1,000. I don't have the exact design. I would have showed us. Okay, let me do something now. Let me show you one of the. Can we see this? I just switched my what's it called now? Can we see it? This barrier.
Yes, sir.
Design. All right, perfect. Now I want to show us one of the tricks that graphic designer use. So everybody will be seeing this and be like, oh wow, this is lovely. But let me show us one of the tricks that graphic designers will not show everybody. And this is our we call it what is Ashiri in English? Please help my life.
Secret.
Our secret. Yeah, I want to open something now. Nobody should shout though. So this is one. Let me close it back. Everybody is seeing a nice design, but within the nice design, there are things that are not shown to the whole world. Let me open another one. Can we see it? So these are the things that are not shown to the whole world now. Now let me take us through the background. Let me remove this picture for us to see most of the things that we do. Number one, you can download the background, and number one, you can come up with the whole background. So I have this here. I have this one. Can you see it? This is one. I have this. I have this picture, this particular picture, making 2. I have this, making 3. I have this, making 4 for a single design. The reason being that it's not possible, or don't let me say it's not possible, that you get a direct background that will fit in for whatever thing you want to do. But you still need to bring in your creativity. You still need to be kind of creative by giving it everything that you can think of. And it's something applicable to this as well. Something applicable to this as well. So you can get backgrounds online, and as a designer, you can still come up with something. So like this now, this one is a plain background, just white background. Then I added kind of effect to the background. You see it's not really plain direct. Then I have my text directly. It's not giving us issue. But because this one is talking about money, it's talking about kind of increasing your income. That's why we just need to add something to it to reflect what the webinar is talking about. And if you look at this last one, it's just direct, no paparazzi, just the background, just the shape, can give you the shape, have your color, and you have your text on it. But mind you, if you are giving it a color, you should not go outside your brand color. If there is brand color, I mean logo now. There is a logo now. You can use that logo. I'm not sure there is a particular logo for this. So the designer just decided to go with green and black. This particular one now, someone will say, I didn't even use their color because their color is light. And what I'm doing is light background. I can't use this on it. The only thing I can do is just to come up with my own in line with the picture. Do we get it? Please let me know if you are getting it too, so that it won't just be like I'm just saying things.
Yes, I'm getting it.
All right. So when we start the practical afresh, we understand all these things. You see, all these that I'm saying, we might not even understand it for now. But when we start the practical, finally, we understand everything. And all right, thank you. We understand everything that I'm talking about. And don't say because I'm using CorelDRAW, this is what's it called? This is applicable to CorelDRAW users only. No, it's applicable to everybody. Whatever tool you are using to design, it's applicable to everybody. Now, I don't know the tools this person used to design it, but if you look at it, everything we've been saying or everything I've been talking about reflect on this particular design. So let's end this by sharing with us. Okay, I've talked about this color now. So many people would think or would like to say, is graphic design a good career? Well, it depends on some particular facts and gaining the skills recommended by professionals. Like other creative works, it requires passion, creativity, and hard work to reach the destination. So to be a graphic designer is not a day job. It's easy and it's not easy. It's easy if you are so particular or if you are so passionate about it and if you really, really want to learn the hard work. And on the other hand, if you happens to be someone that is kind of lazy, and I'm very sure most of us are not lazy, so we'll find graphic designing to be sweet and we'll enjoy it. So before that, don't forget to go through the type of graphic design we mentioned above. Hopefully, it will be a great resource for you if you really intend to start your journey in this field. Thank you. So underneath, we have where you can get color ideas, where we can get mock-up. I'll talk about this mock-up now. Where we can get fonts, where you can download fonts, where we can get images, free images, please. It's very, very important. If you are using image as part of your background, maybe you are designing something around tech, that you need a pictorial representative now, or representation, whichever one. It is very, very important that you use free pictures. Please, sorry, I don't know if everybody is Yoruba. They used to sue graphic design now. And it is very, very serious. It is very, very serious. Please, let's be very careful. Yeah, I can see the message. And where can we get ideas? Hold on, please. Where can we get ideas? We can get ideas for our design. Yeah, Behance, Dribbble, Pinterest. Most of the time, I use Pinterest. If I want to design, anything around program, like that beta program that I showed you, I use Behance. But for flyer designs, logo design, for flyer designs, I use Pinterest. For logo design, I use something else. There's where we call, I will share the link with us. Here we can see ideas of icons. Icons we can replicate. Icons we can just bring together. And it will definitely help us. So you can ask a question, please. I want to stop sharing now.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
My question is okay. My question is it a must we make use of images in designs? Like, is it a must we create a design and then add images? And then even if we would make use of images in any design, like how can we get nice images for our designs? And is it a must
Okay.
we actually make use of images in any design?
Well, just like that is what I just explained. Number one, it is not a must. And well, let me say it is not a must. It just depends on what you are designing. If you look at the what's it called I just shared with us now. If you look at the design I've been sharing with us, I didn't use any pictures online, right? I only used background and the picture of what's it called? The picture of the host. But in a situation whereby you want to design something like, okay, let me share this now. I just saw something now. If you want to design something like this, it requires you to use images. Abi now, you are designing something like this. Can you see it now? It requires you to use images only if your client gives you image to use. So if your client gives you image to use, then you are good to go. You don't need to go online and start looking for images. But in a situation whereby you are not giving images, on a norms, you should use, if you are doing something like this, if you are trying to, image is just a way to communicate better to people. Do you get it? It's just a way to communicate better. And let me try to, okay, let me share another screen now. Let me share I'm sharing my browser. If you look at all these images, can you see it now? Can everybody see it? Please let me know if you are seeing my browser.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we can.
So if you look at this now, it requires you to do what? To use images. Although everything is just about crypto, is about exchange. But look at this now. It's a brand new week. Start with a smile. This particular picture, you can get it on Free I know this guy. This guy is very popular. This is still the same guy. My network. This is still the same. This is still the same guy. So depending on what you are working on, I will determine if you need pictures online or not. So if you are designing something like this now, you don't need pictures online. It's loading. Events like this, you don't need pictures online. The only pictures you might need for this kind of program, which because it's a conference, is maybe a conference assembly where they will show a lot of people. That one, you will get it online. You can just use it as kind of background that is not really called people's attention. So if you get familiar to design, you know that anything that has to do with conference, that has to do with bootcamp, I'm sorry, my network is not making it to load. You can see that all of these design here, none of them use online pictures. Most of them use the pictures of either the speaker or the host. So it depends on what you are designing. And if you want to, okay, maybe I should just do it this way. Let me just go to Free and let's see which images are free and which images are not free. Okay, let me search for the tech guy. Sorry, a tech guy. I'm saying now. Aha. If you look at it, you see any images that has this crown, it is premium. If you need this image, you have to pay for it. Let me click on it. You will see that it will even have watermark. Can you see that it has watermark? So you can't use it unless if you want to bypass it. And if this guy, catches you, you may not pay for what we did not buy. So all these images, all these ones are free. I've used this guy tire. I've used this guy to tire. All these images. This one is not free. This one is not free. This one is free. This guy too is free. This guy is not free. This that same guy. That same guy we. Where is it now? Where's the guy? I can't see it. This is that same guy that I was showing you. So you see that even if you look at your left-hand side, we have vector, we have illustration, and we have free and premium. So it's just for you to filter it to free. Just click on the free to bring the free for you. So you don't need to start cracking your brain if one is free or one is not free. Have I answered your question? Have I answered your question? So it depends on what you are working on. If you're working on programs like this, I don't think you need them. No, you don't need. If you are working on something like this, you will share me big games here now. Or if you are working for a church program, you don't need to get picture online. If you are working on maybe a flyer that I want to sell, or that is talking about a particular brand, maybe real estate. Thank God, this is even real estate. You see that all these ones, we need pictures online, and you can easily get free pictures. Any other question? Any other one? Are we all good?
Good evening, sir.
All right, good evening.
I want to ask that. You said...
Yes, sir. Can I ask a question, sir?
Hold on, please. Someone is asking a question already.
Okay, can you hear me, sir?
All right, I can hear you, please.
Okay, you said you can only use 2 fonts on a design. If you are using more than 2 fonts, you said the design will not make sense or very okay. Is it okay to use more than 2 fonts on a design?
Well, you've answered it. It's not really okay. And the main reason why is even if you want to use more than 2 fonts, just make it 3. Too much of fonts makes the design to look somehow. If you just try, go online, go to Pinterest and just search for design, you see that most of the font is either 2 or just 1. It's either 2 or just 1. And if it's going to be 3, it won't really show. And the third one will just be anything like maybe cursive or something that is not really paying attention, that it is just maybe a single word. It might just be a single word that they will use the third font for. So using 1 font, using 2 fonts is not something bad. I don't say anything bad in it. And even if you want to use 3 fonts, make it don't let it show that it is 3 fonts. Sorry, I just thank you. Sorry, before the next person asks the question, I want to show you something. When I was talking about I talked about fonts and I talked about consistency, right? whereby I was saying if you want to design something for kids, you can use fonts around that is kind of playful. Do we remember?
Yes.
Okay.
And you said company owned will be very creative, professional one.
So let me show us a typical example now. Can you see it? If you look at Children's Day Special 5.0 program, in fact, this design is just talking about everything that I've talked about, that we've been saying. Now, that Children's Day Special 5.0 promo is what is a kind of playful font. Am I right? It's playful font. Let's reply now. How is it not playful?
Yes, sir.
Because and at the same time, if you look at that 5.0 and promo, the designer is telling you that okay, this is the 5th edition. So Don Jones, this is the 5th edition. Come here, and it is what it is promo. That is how we just try to differentiate or try to pay attention to something in design. So let's go back to the professional fonts that okay. Look at this design now. Start the week with a smile or something. What's wrong? 19. What did you see? The font. Is it playful?
No.
It's not playful.
It's not.
Thank you. And you can use that kind of font for that real estate, the children own. We can't really use it here. In fact, most of the time, even if you are designing, you know that okay, this font is not even going, does not speak what this design is speaking, or does not say, it does not even correlate with what this design is saying. And to buttress the point I made concerning 3 fonts, so if you look at this design now, it's loading. If you look at this design now, let me see if the designer used more than 2 fonts. Definitely, building sustainability career in a dynamic world. You see, this building sustainability, sustainable road, pardon me, it's not sustainability. Building sustainable careers in a dynamic world. You see that building and sustainable, the person used, is it Montserrat? Let me check it. The person used Montserrat. Let me try it so that you see that what I'm saying concerning designers using a type of font. So I'm not lying. Can you see this now? Can you see the design? Please, I need a response.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I think it's even bold. Did you see? Are they the same thing?
Yes, yeah.
Is it part of the font I mentioned or not?
It's part of it.
Montserrat. So everybody loves Montserrat. And let's try to see if this designer used more than one. So this is one. Building sustainable in a dynamic world. Those are one. Join us is still that same font. All is October is still that same font. I think for more information, this one too is one font. Career is just the second font. So this person uses just 2 fonts. And the second font is just career and the name of the host. Can you know that it is just 2 fonts?
No.
The only thing I'm not cool with this design is the alignment. It is not well aligned. This date, venue, and everything should have been well aligned, but it is not well aligned. And even if you look at this for more information, it is not well aligned. It is just like they just dump it there. So I hope I've been able to convince you that designing is just about the element. It's about paying attention to every details. So any question before we move further, or before we take the next break? We are just going to take 2 minutes break. Then we move.
Okay, I have a question.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, let's say you come across a design online and you like the font and you want to make use of that font. So how do you get the font easily? How do you tell what kind of font it is? Is there any tool you can use to check the font, or do you need to start typing and checking different fonts to know if it's aligned before you get the exact font of that graphics?
All right. Thank you very much for that question. Now, before I answer your question now, let's check this design again. I want to be particular about that font now. If you look at this copywriting made easy is one font. This rest of the font is one font, and the font used here is still Montserrat. Let's give it a try. To register, is there any difference?
No, sir.
Still that Montserrat, but another family. This is semi-bold I'm using. I don't know the one the person used though. It might be the bold, but still that same font. Now, this copywriting here, if I'm not mistaken, is impact. Someone will be wondering, how do I know all the name of the fonts? Now, this is the gist. The more you work on design, the more you work with fonts, the more you get to know the name of every font. So if you see any font online and you like the font and you love the font, you want to use it. Okay, now these fonts together now, I did the same thing. Yes. Not really, but it is close, right?
Okay, they're close. Yes,
it is close. Let me try. Let me try this one. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. It's Bibas. But this one is just thick and this one is not thick. I can decide to make this one thick too. So if you have any fonts, if you see any fonts online that you like and you feel like, okay, how can you get it? One of the ways where you can get the font, I said it last class, if you are using iPhone, it's very, very easy if you are using iPhone. For iPhone users, you can just download this app, What's the font? WHAT, then FONT. What's the font? So once you have it, let me see. Where's my phone? You can try it. Anybody using iPhone? You can try it. You can download what a font. Just open. It's only working with iPhone. It's not working with Android. What do you say?
I think I spell it again.
I'm not getting it clearly. I'm not getting your
what a font.
Can I?
You said it's WHAT.
WA.
Please spell
I'm
it
going
again.
to type it now. I'm typing it. Yeah, I'm typing it so that we can see it. Everybody can still see my screen.
Yes, we can.
All right. This is the name. What's like, what is that font? Sorry, what's the font? Not what's that font. What's the font? What's the font? It's only available on Apple Store. It's not available for Android. So once you just open it, you just automatically open your camera, you can snap it, click on it, it will bring the font, the reality font, or you can download it. Once you download maybe the image, or you screenshot the image, you can just directly import it. So this is the logo, so that you won't go and download something else. What's the font? I think it works for web app too. You can browse it online and use it. And I think it has plugin for Opera Mini and Google Chrome. I think they have plugin where you can just easily use it. So that's how you can get the font. Or better still, if you can hack the person, most of the time, you can hack the person. If you know the design, maybe you see a design online, you can go there, comment, ask questions. Okay, what's the name of this font? They will tell you. And you can just go online, search for it, and download it. Are we all clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Another question. Right. You just mentioned something. You say go online, search it, and download it. Does it mean that not all design apps has the complete font? Like, do you need to go and download some fonts? And how do you achieve that?
I didn't get the question.
Okay. You said something. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. You just said something. You said you just need to add the font, then go online and download it. So my question is this. Does it mean that not all design apps has the complete font that is needed for designing? For example, is there any font that I can't find on CorelDRAW or Pixel Lab?
Okay. This is it. Immediately you install your maybe Canva, CorelDRAW, or Photoshop, or even Adobe Illustrator. Immediately you install it. There are some fonts that comes with it, right? But not all fonts are available. There are some fonts. That's why people use all these fonts. People design it. I think I was checking at the office yesterday, and I saw a font, like it is a website for fonts only. So not all designs software comes with the font. Okay, now you are saying something like, okay, you see a font online that you like, you need to download it. If you like, download it. If you like, you don't download it, nobody will question you. But you feel like, okay, I love this design and I want to use the design. The next thing for you is to go and download it, right? Like this Monstera, this Gotan, the Bibas, all the fonts I've used today, I downloaded them. It's not like it's embedded in the software. You have to download. In fact, if you're using Canva, there are some fonts that are premium. There are some fonts that are not premium. I'm not sure if you can install fonts in Canva. I'm not sure. But most of the time, all these fonts you are talking about, I think Canva use fonts that are installed on the system. You see all these fonts, you install them on the system, not like you install them on the software. Are you getting it? You install the font on the system. Even if you open your normal Word document, you can use the fonts there. If you open anything, if you open Microsoft Word, you can choose the font there. That is why if you are using Canva, Canva automatically picks the font from the system. If you are using Photoshop, Photoshop picks the font for the system. So there are some fonts that once you install Windows on the system, it comes with it. There are some fonts that you have to download, like all these ones now. Not all of them will, in fact, most of the fine fonts that we are seeing today, you won't see it. You have to go and download it. Have I answered your question, please?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, before I go, I saw this. Let me share this font. I saw this font. I downloaded it because I love the way. Where is the zoom now? Because I love the way it stands out. And this is the only place I can use it. Did you see it? So I can't use it while I'm designing the cover. The cover has to stand out, has to be direct. It's not something to really joke with. It's not something to play with. But for the inner, I can use this font because it is photo gallery. So I downloaded the font online and I'm using it. Any other person before I want us to work on logo.
Yes, sir. Sir.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you shared a picture of website where we can see pictures and all of that. I wasn't able to capture it, sorry. So I would like to ask if you can put it up again so I can be able to capture it.
Okay, where you can get. Okay, do you have the document I shared with us last week?
No, I don't. My network was bad, so I was in and out.
Are you on the group?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I will share it. I'm not even sure it has been shared though. Has it been shared with us? No.
It has been shared. It's on the group.
No.
It's on the group.
It has been shared.
Yes.
It has not been shared.
It hasn't been shared.
All right, don't worry. I will share it
with
us.
I've downloaded it.
It has been shared. All right, we will reshare it again. We'll reshare it again.
I didn't have it.
We'll share it again so that we'll see where you can get pictures. It's not just one place, but I'm just used to that free pick. So I said I want to talk about something before we move to the logo, and this one will transit us into logo. It is called mockup. It is called mockup, and I'm very sure some of us, we have this particular mockup as logo. I hope I'm being able to see it. Aha. I'm coming in. Now this network, I'm fighting with network here. Have you ever come across something like this? I don't know why it's not showing them. Jesus. What happened now? I'm coming. Let me check my phone. So most of the time, I see a lot of people, a lot of businesses using this type of font. sorry, this type of what happened now? Jesus. I'm sorry, please. I can't see what I'm looking for. I'm trying to look for a. I'm trying to look for it. I can't see it. I'm sorry. There's a particular mock-up that is so common. That everybody they are using it. And it's so common to the extent that people will call it logo. And it's not logo. Have you seen something like this? That people will have their logo, they will have what's the business, what they are doing, they will have phone number, they will have email, address, and everything. Have you all come across it?
Yes, I've come across it. It's just in the form of logo. Yeah.
It's not a logo. Don't call it in form of logo.
No, I said it's
never a logo. Yeah, I know.
It's very popular.
I get to. It's very, very popular. It's something like this. Network, please. Yeah, I think this type is very, very popular. We have something like this, right? And I see people even printing it. People will print it. They will add it to their business card. They will add it to everything. They will frame it and all of that. You see this thing? It is called mock-up. And it is not your logo. I remember what we talked about concerning logo, that logo is just to be precise and direct. Logo does not have what you are selling, does not have phone number and everything. But here in Nigeria, we bastardized this thing called mock-up. We use it for everything, like every goddamn thing. And I wonder why? What happened? Why are people using it? Then I discovered that most of them approach all these roadside designers. They approach them, they do just pay 2,000 naira. I'll do it for you. No. A standard, don't let me say a standard logo. If you approach any logo designer now, they won't charge. If you see anybody charging 50K, they're just charging as let me just do it for you. If you see anybody charging 100K, they're just doing it. Okay, let's just do it. Because logo design, as simple as we've all discussed, as simple as I've opened our eyes to it, it is also time consuming. Because most of the time, you have to sketch out. There's this part I didn't tell us, the sketching part. You sketch out the logo if you want to design. There's a part for sketching out. Let's say you are designing and you are designing and you have what's it called? You have icons that you want to use. You can do what? You can sketch it out. But using that mock-up is not acceptable. So what is mock-up? Mock-up is just, hello, the person should please mute. Mock-up is just like what I discussed last time when we are talking about UI/UX. I just shared a bit about UI/UX. That we have the architect. Please, that person should mute now.
Don't give me blow again. No. Don't give me blow again. No. That way I think that boy not to redeem. Don't do that. Oh. It's bad.
Adebola, please mute yourself.
Anybody that disturbs me now, I'm removing you. You have to know that we are in a meeting. Anybody now that disturb, I'm just removing the person. So now, mock-up is you just giving an idea of what the design will look like. It is not like you're directly showing we're directly showing the logo. Just like this now. This is a logo, but this one is telling us that okay, if you want to do an indoor signage, this is an indoor signage. Oh. If you want to do an indoor signage for this design on a wall, this is the way it will come out. That is the idea of mock-up. It's just to show us how the logo will look like in anything I want to use it for. Whether you are using it for, this is another one. This is still indoor signage, right? Just to show how it will look. But Nigerians, God will help us. We bastardized this logo to the extent that we use it for everything. This is outdoor signage. If you want to do signage, this is the way it will look like. As simple as that. We have for everything. We have for ID card, we have for business card, we have for this is a direct example. It's not showing. Okay, let me show. This one is blur. This one is blur. I'm so sorry. So if you look at this now, this one is telling us that if you have a logo and you want to put it on anything, this is the way. Example of what you can give. Are we getting it? This is business card, this is ID card, this is envelope, this is paper bag, this is letterhead, and all of this. So this one is just showing how it will look like if we are printing. So I don't know why people now go ahead and start using it as their personal logo. But some people even say, bring 3K, I will give it to you. Why now? So if you want to do logo, and this is taking us to logo designer. If you want to design logo, this is one of the place where we can, what's it called? Check for ideas. You see, we have alphabets, we have shapes, we have objects, we have nature logos. All these ones, it is free of charge. You can come here. Let me click on A now. You see different A. Did you see it? This is A, 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 this is A. All type of, this is A, all type of A. This is A as well. I can decide to check, okay, let's work on something now. I want to design a logo. Can anybody give me a name around that start with A? That start with A. I want to use this A now. So that for you to see that even though I'm checking it online, I'm not using everything directly as I have it here. Can anybody give me a name? Okay.
Albert.
Come again.
Albert. A-L-B-E-R-T.
Albert what?
You say you just needed a name starting with A.
Okay, Albert. Okay, don't worry. I will come up with something. Albert Engineering and Construction Services. Is that fine?
Yeah, it's cool.
Is Albert the name of that guy?
Which guy?
Don't lie, don't lie, don't lie. Don't lie, don't lie, don't lie. Talk to me, talk to me. Is it any adverts? Are you shy?
There is no guy.
Shy now?
I'm not shy.
Why are you shy? Why are you shy? So let me download it.
She said
let me download it. Don't mind that. I'm trying to screenshot. I don't know why my screenshot tab is not showing. What happened now? I don't want to go through the stress of. Okay. You know what? Let me download. I don't know why it's not showing. So this is how you steal like an artist. The fact that we have that design free of charge does not mean we should use it directly like that. Are you getting it? Okay. Let me change my screen. All right. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's Albert's Engineering and double E and Construction Limited, right? But this is what I saw this online, and I want to use it. So it's straightforward. How many of us are familiar with this? I'm not sure if we are familiar with it. Maybe our next class to take time to deal with CorelDRAW, to deal with the design software, because all these tab here at this left-hand side, we need to understand it. We need to know what each of them is working for. But for now, I want to work on these shape tools, which is, rectangle tools. That is what I want to use to draw this line. So there are different ways to come up with this, but I'll just go ahead and use this concept. I just convert this to have it like this. Then I have my circle. Don't worry. So I have my circle. Let me remove. Sorry. So this is what we have. So if I want to do something like that, so I don't want to use it the same way we have it today. Just want to be a little bit creative and try to create a kind of curve to the edges. Done. It's too much. Okay. 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 And decide to do the same thing for this angle here too. So just to be kind of creative, not to use exactly what we have in our idea, or it's still what we have there, right? So it's not every time, it's not every time that you just go there and you pick idea. It's not every time you go there. So immediately once you keep working on stuff like this, we get familiar to what we are working on. Let's say this is our icon now. This remains for me to come up with the name Harvard. So the next thing for me is to look out for a font that goes well with what I'm doing. And just like I said, I can't use this type of font because it is what? It is logo. And I can't start using, I can't use decorative. So it has to be straightforward. Let me see. And this is where the headache comes in. Choosing what works. Okay, I think I like this. But do we have the family? Let me see. Just stick with it. So for logo now, since we have Albert Engineering and Construction Limited, we have other names. You can decide to use the same font, and you can decide to add one extra font to it, making it 2 fonts for that brand. So we can decide to have 2 fonts for the brand, and we can decide to have just 1 font for the brand. So let's just work with 2 fonts for the brand now. You can decide to use this. Let's use something bold. Then I can decide to use Montserrat for this. So to give it color. Well, if you want to, whatever color you want to use the color. But I'm not feeling this A actually. I'm not feeling it. I don't know why. Or maybe it's because it's not close to engineering. Let's look out for engineering logo. Let's look out for engineering logo, please. Sorry. Let's look out for engineering logo. An engineering logo. Let's use 3D. So now going back to what I said, that you don't settle for one thing. Now, this one now, I just saw it and I picked it, right? But at the end of the day, it's not giving what I want. Okay, this is a TOA. I just decided to use a TOA. Maybe peradventure the company is working around building skyscraper or building, anything building. I think this one is like a building. Yeah. I think I like this. This one is like a building. Let's try this one if it will work. Right. Imports. I just downloaded. Okay. So this one, I have no choice. I can just use it directly, but I need this directly, just like I have it, and it's something I can use here. Okay. In fact, I have authority over it. I can even change the color because of what I downloaded, because of the type of the image is SVG that I downloaded. So I can, in fact, that means I can change the color of this as well. Oh, I'm seeing this for the first time. Perfect. So let's just agree that this is engineering company and they are using, you want to design this for them, you are giving them this. About engineering and company, look out for the best color that goes together and decide to give them orange and maybe an green. Let me see if this one will work for orange. Works depending on how you want to do it. This is it. Decide to give different arrangement for it. On the norms, nobody will see this type of shape and won't believe it's like a building. But this is for online. Now, if you want to design something from your head, maybe you want to design a world map now. Let's say Albert Engineering and Construction Limited, AEC. How do you go about it? AEC, you can decide to have small letter, you can decide to have capital letter. Everything still falls back to what? Still falls back to fonts. Let's just agree that Albert is Albert Education or Edu Consult. I think it's because it's engineering that's giving me LD. Albert Edu Consult. We have EAC. This is as simple as anything. You can decide to use it like this. You can decide to give it another font. It's the font that speaks about the logo in this format now. This is another one. Albert Edu Consult. You see, this one is even straightforward compared to the engineering. So it depends on what you are working on that will determine how far you will stay or how far you will dwell on a particular logo. So I want to design anything around Edu Consult. I'm cool with this logo. I don't need to start looking for a picture of a book, an open book, or if it is emblem that I want to design now. Let's say it is emblem that I want to design. I can have the circle, have the name here, have whatever image I want to add, picture of an open book, can have it inside there, try to twist it, and I'm good to go. Whichever one you want to use will determine, or whichever logo you are working on will determine which concept you are using. Let's try another font for this. Please, are we getting it? Is this straightforward, yes, or am I going too fast, or I'm mixing things up?
I'm getting it.
Please let me know. It's very, very important too.
I'm on the average, sir.
Okay. All right. Now, let me try to use a cursive font. Let's see if it will work. Most of the cursive font I'm seeing here is, but most of the fonts I'm using here works perfectly because it is it is a short form. It is just the first letter of each word. For the rest of the time, let's try something for this. Let's do the emblem for Albert Edu Consult. Let's do the emblem. So we have, I have to go online and look out for Shield because I want to use Shield. Most of the time, they use Shield in anything that has to do with school. I'm searching for the Shield online. I know we are not seeing it, but I'm almost done. Okay. This is our sheet now. Okay. There is an AI in this corridor that allows me to trace this bitmap, to trace this image, to give me the shape. I can decide to draw it out. Can you see? That's the shape. So this is what I need. I'm coming. It's not giving me what this is not giving me what I want. So, okay, this is the shape. Come in, please. Let me do it again so that be able to change the color. Now, next class, we'll talk about all these things. I just want us to have an in-depth understanding about this project. Why now? What happened? Like, you don't want me to do it. Let me just do it that way. But I'm not really cool with that color. I will see if I can change the color later. Let's see. Okay, I'm using gray. Just pay attention to what I'm doing, please. Just pay attention to it. Uh, uh, going? I say.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Let's hold on a bit while we try to resolve the issues with his network and see. Please, Blessing Edet, can you make me host as well for this meeting? Our facilitator will join us in a moment. The network kicked him out.
Good evening, sir. I don't know how I became the host, because all of a sudden it just moved to my account.
Yes, it happens like that. Just make me a host or co-host.
Sir, please, how do I make you a host? I'm trying. I don't know how to make you a co-host also.
Okay, go to the participant view, then right click on my name. You will see the option of host and co-host there.
Nice. So the is just to bring. I went online to download this. This is what I went to download before the network kicked me out. So if you like, you can add this. Just try to arrange it, and if you like, you can decide not to add it. You can add something else. You can add text to it as well, just like we have it. So this is just to show us different ways where we can give out designs, especially logo for our clients. Remember, we have different type of logo. We have this watermark, we have shape, we have word mark, we have letter mark, we have emblem, we have every one of them. So depending on what you are working on. So next class, we have to talk about this CorelDRAW so that everybody can know how to use this. But if you want to try it out, you can actually download it, install it, and try to just look at what all are working for. Like the first one is a pick tool, is for you to pick. You can't work on anything without this pick tool. I can't work on this advert without me selecting pick tool first. Take for instance now, I've picked this. I've picked this now. I want to give this color. I want to change the color of advert. I need to pick it first. I need to come here and click on my pick tools, pick it, then give it whatever color I want to give it. Then this one has, the second one has different functions. The third one is crop tool, is for if you want to crop out anything. That is the function of the third one. Then the fourth one is zoom. Just like that, we can just practice. And where can we get this software? I'm going to share with us the link of the years we can download. It is Crack, and anybody that needs help to install it, I will give the person the help. I will put you through how to install it. Or even before you download it, you see how to install. There is a video on how to install every of the software. There is 2019, there is 2020, there is 2023, there is 2024, there is 2017, and all of that. So depending on the one you want to install. So once you're able to master the usage of all these tools, then we know that, okay, this is what this one is working for. I can easily maneuver myself around it. It's another thing to understand design. It's another thing to understand the software you want to use. That is why people that are using Canva, people that are using Pixellab, most of them are good, even more than people that are using CorelDRAW, people that are using Photoshop. If you see people using Canva, a lot of people use Canva and it's wowed me to some extent. Like they are good with it. They know every note and cranny of the software. So you need to be familiar with the software you want to use. That one will help you in whatever thing you want to design. In Canva, I'm not sure if you can pick color. Oh, yeah, I think you can pick color. Yeah, you can pick color. I remember. You can pick color. I can decide to pick this color now and drop it here. I can decide to pick this color here and drop it here. Photoshop too has its own. All of these things are very, very useful, and we need to pay optimum attention to it. So this is just like a brief intro to what logo is all about and how to design the logo. So we can just go ahead and check this logobook.com. I'm going to send it as text now. Logobook.com. Let's check the website. Logobook.com. You see different logos. Yeah, thank you. You see different logos there where you can just replicate. Now, another logo where you can do is, okay, let me was this logo before. Okay, I want to do DA now. I'm working on D. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is, thank you. This is D. And let's say the A. The A now. Let me look at what I can come up with for the A. My internet is unstable. What is wrong? What is wrong? Want to work on this and I'm still thinking of the hay to use though. I'm still thinking I need to come up with something. Okay. All right. I have this idea now. Okay. I need it to be straight. I need it straight. Okay. This is my own A now. My system is low. Let me just quickly rush this. Okay. All right, this is my A now. So let's say I want to do A now. I can decide to do it this way. Decide to use this. This is, let's say, I'm doing D here. Yes. If you're working on something around this letter now, that is D and A, let's say the name is Dixon Harbert. Dixon Harbert Consulting. Or the Dixon Harbert form. So it's as simple as this. Did you get something? Did you get something at all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Or is it not clear? So this is D and this is A together. I can decide to change the color, whichever one. Then we have the name, Dixon Harbert. So that is just the way to come up with with logo. So once you go through the logo book very well, you'll be able to understand how all these things are being coined out. You understand how they are being coined out. Most of the time they use shape, they use take for instance, you are working on something that is around headline now. Everything is on that logo book. I can just go online and still check very well. So this will bring us to the end of tonight's class. If we have anything, if you have any questions. You didn't get it, Abu. Is it complex?
Yeah, so what do you recording?
What do you say?
I said I want the recording.
Yeah, there's recording, and once we start the practical, you understand better. It's because you guys are not doing it. I'm just the one doing it. It's like magic. That is the reason why it's like magic. So once you start something around it. But do we have questions? Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
This let's take for instance this big covered of the road. Is there a way we can make it like 3D?
I didn't get you. It's breaking. The line is breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, kind of.
I think my network is bad too. I said this name you wrote here. Covered hub.
This name I use. Can you type your question, please? The line is just breaking. I'm very sorry. It's the line now.
Maybe it's my network.
I think I can see people. I can see people that their mic is still on. I don't know if the next is from there. Okay, go ahead now. You can hear me.
I said name you wrote it's in Albert Hub. Yeah. Can we make it be in
please type your question. I didn't get it, please. Just type it. The line is breaking, seriously.
I've typed it already.
You've typed it already. Okay. I'm not seeing it. I don't know why. Can you put the name in 3D form?
Yeah.
Logo. You can't.
Okay.
Yeah, that is why it is. Put it in. If you check, just try as much as possible to go through that logo book. Just go through it. You know, that 3D you are talking about now is a form of what's it called? The mock-up I just talked about. That's just the example.
Yes.
Now, 3D in the sense like let me try and do something for this now. Let's say okay, let's say this is Albert. Let me just try and create a 3D for Albert. Let me try and create a 3D for Albert. Let's blend these two together. This is like a 3D. It's mock-up. I mean, you can use it as logo. Do you get it? That is the one. This is also in form of 3D as well. If we have time, I would have worked on it properly. So it's not the best. It's not the best. Just make it plain and straightforward, just like we have for Apple, we have for all brands. See, if you want to work on anything, if you want to work on any brand, any logo at all, just pay attention to all those brands. Pay attention to the logos like Facebook, like Samsung, the ones you can see around you, the Hisense. Just pay attention to them. Once you're able to detect or to see, okay, this is how this one is, this is how this one is, then you know that, okay, you actually don't need all this 3D. Don't need all this 3D. So this is just letters, and let me just do shape. Let me just show us shape. You see, this is letter T. This is letter T. This is letter W. The dot. This is T as well. So if you are working on you are working on the likes of Netflix type of logo. Do you remember it? What type of logo is it?
It's just,
let me quickly show us. It's just that letter, but it has a name. The letter form. We are working on this letter form now. So what you can do is, why now? Yeah, you can just decide to use this type. You see it? If you want to work on N, you want to work on O. Look at this O now. This particular O, just look at it. It's just unique on its own. It's unique on its own. So it's something you can use. You can just, your own can just be vertical. Your own can be anyhow. Just twist it. So it's not like you use exactly like we have it here. You should have your own creativity to. You should add it to it. So any other thing before we call it a night? My system is low already.
So all these logos, can we import it in any software, both Canva or Pixel Lab?
Check this one that I'm showing you.
Yes, all this logo from Logo Book, can we import it on any app for designing?
Yes, you can. You can import it so that you can just try to create your own app of it. But if you are downloading it, it will download as SVG format. I'm not sure. Canva will open SVG file, but I know of Photoshop, I know of CorelDRAW, I know of Adobe InDesign, Illustrator will open SVG file. But you can just screenshot and upload to Canva and all other design apps.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Do you have any other thing, please? So I'm trying to, okay, I will send where we can download CorelDRAW. If you are using PC, they're using a laptop, I'll share it with the admin. The admin will send it to us, and this document, the admin will share it with us so that we can download it. And if you have anything, just drop it on the group. So just bear it in mind that tomorrow we are starting proper. We are still meeting tomorrow, same time. We are meeting tomorrow, and we are starting the practical aspect of it proper. All this one is just talk. But the real work part of it, we are starting. So I would just advise us to just go online, read more about it. Even if possible, try to do something. If you're able to download the software, just try something out. That is how to learn. So, hello, sir. Please, you can. Are you there, sir? Okay. Who do we have as host? We have Blessing and we have Sylvester. Please, the two of you, anybody can just take over from here, please.
Please, is there no attendance for today's class, please?
So, Sylvester, please, you can message me on WhatsApp. Please message me on WhatsApp so that I can send the download link to the software and the document. Please. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll meet again tomorrow. I don't know if the host has anything to.
All right. Can we say a big thank you to our facilitator for tonight? Can you just unmute and say thank you, Sal? If you enjoyed tonight's class, can you just say that?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for staying through.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Was really exciting. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Enjoy our night rest. We can take back our time. The links will be sent to our page tonight or tomorrow morning, and then we can continue learning on our own pace. Good night, everybody. Once again.
Good night, sir.